Hi, my name is Aria Lightfoot, and I wanted to talk today about constitutional rights and also about human rights. Just to give you a little background, my study is in political science. I have a bachelor's and I have a master's in public administration. My capstone discussed the gender gap that affects Belize compared to the rest of the world and how it affects the administration within Belize. And that's just a little background. Why I thought that it was important to have this discussion. I think it's important because we have many people who are advocating on a constant basis for the rights of citizens, which is noble. However, as advocates, you must understand that every single person right is equal. They're human rights. Everyone is guaranteed 30 basic human rights. And your constitutional protection, meaning that the Constitution of Belize basically is the framework of our laws. So when you're advocating for the rights of people, rights is not about a belief system, and it's very important that we start understanding that. You know, sometimes I listen to different advocates, and whenever you bring up Caleb, some of them roll their eyes, suck their teeth, and they don't take it seriously because they truly don't understand the importance of advocacy and what Caleb has done for Belize. Caleb opened up Pandora's box that wasn't really examined in Belize. And that Pandora's box is that when you feel like your rights are being violated, you take it to the court system because they are the guardians of our laws. So in the case of Section 53, Caleb thought that that law offended the Constitution, his right to privacy, and the courts agreed. Why is that law important for every citizen? What we don't want is government dictating to people what type of sex they should be having and where, who they should be having sex with once it is consenting adults. But what we're hearing for, and even from advocates, is their personal belief system. They quote Bible, you know, whether or not this is right, and that's beside the point. It really is beside the point. You know, if somebody's rights are being violated, the argument isn't whether or not we should give them rights, whether because we agree with them. The argument really is, are they entitled to the rights, and what is their source for those rights? And those rights can be found in the Human Rights Charter, or it can be found in our Constitution. Here are some other rights that are currently being violated in Belize. As a citizen of Belize, I have a right to challenge public office. Every citizen have a right to challenge public office. However, if that citizen gains a second citizenship, that right is stripped. Even though our Constitution states that we have equal protection of the law, there is some conflict there, and it's not being addressed. Another right is that we all have a right to life. And as a right to life, my right to life should be protected. And that protection many times comes from the government. That means that when the police is investigating murders and dealing with issues of life, it should be taken so seriously. But yet we're at a stage where only 5% of those who are affected, who are being murdered in essence, only 5% of their cases are being resolved. So what happens? We have 2,100 murders, and there's no serious policies that are being created to address this very serious human rights violation. How about our Constitution of Belize says that Guatemalans are not allowed Belizean citizenship, and no government or no politician can override this right. But yet we've granted tens of thousands of Belizean citizenship. How about your right to due process? See, the problem is, as advocates, is that when you start justifying who's right is rightful or who deserve rights, one day you're going to find yourself as a victim of your rights being violated and from a society silent about it. So here we are, 2,100 murders. We're just 21 days, 22 days into the new year, and we're about 10 murders in. And our rights keep being violated. And it won't change until Belizeans start realizing that more than anything else, we need to uphold the rights of others, whether or not we agree with them, whether or not it's your religious belief, whether or not you like the person, whether or not you agree with the person. The question always remains, is that person rights being violated? And when you start advocating from that position, the arguments of emotional distractions get wiped away, and we start realizing that there should be no silence when 60% of the people on remand have been sitting there for 2 years with no evidence to have them imprisoned. There should be outcry when people die under questionable methods and no true investigation is taking place. These are the reasons, until we actually figure it out, we need to start respecting the rights of every citizen of Belize. And we need to start realizing that every citizen, regardless of their station in life, regardless of their economic value, regardless of their stature, every citizen should be treated just like every other citizen. And that is one of the first steps to start solving the problem. All right, guys, that's my commentary. If you have any comments or criticism or anything, let me know. If you want me to discuss an issue within politics or government, I'm happy to do so. Hit me up, let me know.